Should women and men get equal pay, or for that matter, equal paid leave? Or should anybody get paid leave? Kay Heimowitz is with us. She's a senior fellow with the Manhattan Institute, the author of Manning Up. And Twitter is at Kay Heimowitz, and manhattan-institute.org is the website. Kay, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks for joining us. So lay out your argument for me against paid leave for women and men in the event that they have a child or a family emergency or whatever.
It's not that I'm against paid leave. It depends what your policy goal is. If you are trying to increase gender equality, this is not the way to go. Let me explain why I say that. If you look at places like Sweden, France, and then the other Nordic countries as well,
where they have paid leave,
where they have
for both genders,
for leave for both.
Yeah.
The result has been to hold women back if they want to move to the very top. In other words, this is not family leave, maternity leave in particular. Particularly,
wait a second, Kate. Norway has more female CEOs. They have more female legislators in the United States as a percentage.
Oh, they have legislators, all right. In the public sector, you can do it through quotas. In the private sector, when you look at Sweden, and I'm pretty sure at Norway as well, I have more data from Sweden. What you find instead is that women are not doing as well in the private sector as they are in the United States, where there is no required family leave. So what the economists have tried to look at this and try to figure out, well, what's going on here? After all, we know that Sweden is a place where there's a tremendous dedication to gender equality. And what they have concluded, and this is, these are very reputable economists, not conservatives, and includes, by the way, the World Economic Forum. What they concluded is that women who, if they're taking a year off, are less connected to the workforce and less career-oriented. Sweden is actually very well known for having women working part-time a lot. Their gender gap is a little bit lower than ours, but not by much, and has more to do with...
Could this not be the function of it being a wealthier society?
Which... you'll have to explain a little bit better what you mean.
Well, the standard of living in Sweden for the average Swedish family is higher than the standard of living in the United States. It's everybody has health insurance, everybody has cradle to grave, everybody has access to health care, to child early education services, whatever you call it, child care early on. Everybody has free college essentially, or very, very inexpensive. Everybody has hospice care and elder care in their old age. There's just a baseline that's quite different there than it is here. So in the United States, you've got more and more families where both the husband and wife have to work, and in many situations, one would choose to work and the other would choose not to. And traditionally, over years, that's been the man working and the woman not. And we can debate the biology or the morality of that, but that's just how we were all raised. Over the last millennia. And so if you've got a country that's wealthier, if there's not the economic pressure for women to go into the workplace, might it not make a certain amount of sense that not as many do?
Actually, they have a higher percentage of women working in Sweden than we do here. Not by a lot, but it is more. So women are in the workplace. They tend to be working fewer hours than women here. But again, as the question that I was raising and that I intended to elaborate on was that you have to figure out what your policy goal is.
Right.
If it is more equality, more gender equality, then maternity leave, and particularly very generous maternity leave, is not necessarily going to help you.
So what would?
Oh, well, my own view is that there is never going to be absolute gender equality for the simple reason that women are less inclined to want to sacrifice time with children or time or close relationships with their children.
Isn't that a quality that we should be working to create in men?
I think we want.
And couldn't we do that by saying we're going to offer maternity leave to men as well as women?
Oh, we can do that, and of course Sweden has done that, and the results there are very, very interesting. Since the 1970s, they have tried to equalize male and female commitment to children, and they've had a little bit of success. So what they did at first was they instituted parental leave that could be taken by women or men. Well, they kept finding that women were taking all the leave and not men at all. And then at a certain point in the 90s, they instituted a use it or lose it approach. If men did not use the leave, the family would lose it. So that did increase the number of men, or the percentage of men, who were taking leave. However, the studies that I've seen indicate no real change when it comes to, for instance, taking time off with a sick child. And in terms of the gender gap, the wage gap, that hasn't changed much either.
It's very interesting statistics, and I realize you're putting these in a relatively conservative frame, as it were. Let us not try to equalize these. Am I right?
Well, I think that this is something that people should be given choices about. I don't think it's true. I don't think it's up to the state to say, we are going to make you exactly equal.
Right.
We want men and women to do exactly the same things. I don't think women want that necessarily. I certainly see no evidence that...
Well, this is equality of opportunity, is it not? It's opportunity to take time off to be with your kids. That's not enforced equality.
Yeah, okay, that's, if you want to equalize parental leave, that's one thing. But again, I think what you're saying is we're going to insist on doing things this way without really asking people what do they want.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that your question is a bit of a straw man, that you're saying that the reason that we should not have parental leave, both for men and for women, is because it's not producing, more female executives in Sweden. And I would say, if it's the moral thing to do, the right thing to do, that as a society we should be doing it. Whether it produces, some magical outcome that, if your policy goal is, let's say our policy goal is not to raise the wealth of female executives in big corporations. Our policy goal is to do what's right for society and for our people. If men want to take the leave, they can. If women want to take the leave, they can. What's wrong with that?
I actually don't have a problem with that. I think we do have to recognize that there are certain kinds of trade-offs we have to deal with. We have to question what the effect on small businesses will be. I have a friend I remember talking to. She has she's in the finance world, but she has her own company, about 7 workers, all of them women. She is completely devoted to trying to advance women. And when I suggested to her, or asked her what she thought about having more required leave, she said it would make her life impossible.
Well, a lot of these kind of policies here in the United States and in many European countries as well don't kick in until you've got 50 people in your workforce.
That's true. That is true.
And so, that I think is kind of a straw man too. But Kay Heimowitz, it's a thought-provoking conversation. I appreciate it. Senior Fellow at the Manhattan Institute, manhattan-institute.org. Thank you for being with us, Kay.
Thanks for having me.